friends of the creaking door. The creaking door is open, so do come in. Feeling the chill of these winter evenings, wait until you're with us a little. You'll freeze with fear. The cemetery caretaker and the ashen-faced, trembling young man make an odd pair as they stand by an open grave under the pale moon. In the grave itself is a coffin. The young man has a hammer in his hand, and a ladder stands in the grave.
Oh, I heard about blokes like you. Read about grave robbers. Never thought I'd come across one.
But you don't understand. I've tried to save his life and now it's too late.
Now don't you give me that. This fellow was given a decent Christian burial. You've desecrated
Desecrated, you say? Isn't it desecration to bury a man while he's still alive?
Hey, what's he talking about? You don't think that people go around being buried alive these days, do you? I don't know what to make of you. I watched you this afternoon. I thought you looked a bit peculiar. I didn't know what you were doing at a pauper's burial.
He shouldn't have had a pauper's burial. He shouldn't have been buried at all. I could have saved him.
You better think up a good story. Something told me you're up to no good. That's why we're keeping an eye out. You were going to break in and open the coffin, but I caught you. I knew you were up to something. I never thought...
It's because I let him get buried alive, and I was ashamed. I mean, let him get buried alive for a measly £50, and now he's dead.
Hey, have you come out of a loony bin or something? Now I get a better look at you. You don't want no grave robber.
I'm not. Listen, it's
What is he, this bloke we buried today?
nothing. Except I'm responsible for his death.
How can you be? Heart attack, I heard. Do you know him well?
I didn't even know he existed until 2 days ago. I've been trapped in the streets looking for work. I didn't want to go home. If you could call that one-room little night copy a home. I mean, it was still ringing in my ears, the things she shouted at me as I left. And it was...
I've come to the end of my tether. I pawned everything. Look, even the wedding ring you slipped on my finger in the church. Well, if you don't get some money or a job, I'm walking out on you. Do you hear? I'm walking out on you, and I'll go live with my sister. At least I'll get some warmth and 3 square meals a day.
Oh, don't say that, Lil. It wasn't my fault I fell sick and couldn't work in the factory anymore. I've tried, dear, I really have. Everywhere I go, they look at me and say no vacancies.
Not my fault either. I warn you, I can't take much more.
I know, Hen, I know. I'll get something today, I promise. Was a promise I couldn't keep. Pounding the pavement, watching the dislike and fear in the eyes of the world as I passed by. Fear that one day they might become like me. And then I see him. I was coming at Duke's Lane, nothing on either side except a huge brick wall. He was a little short, fat little man. Our steps blurred in the quiet thoroughfare. What was he stopping for? Was he taking caution? Did he think me a gangster or something? Suppose I looked like something that crawled out of a piece of cheese. Governor, are you all right? He can't be. He's conked out. There doesn't seem to be any breathing. Wonder who he is. Well, he must have something in his pocket. Blimey, look at all this money. Must be 50 quid here at least. Poor swine. What goes his money now? I better call a cop.
Some money or a job, I'm walking out on you. Do you hear? I'm walking out on you, and I'll go live with my sister. At least I'll get some warmth and 3 square
There's
meals
nothing
a day.
anyone can do for this poor swine. They'll find him soon enough. What's the guy do in a case like this? Beat it, you bloody fool. Beat it with the first decent money you've had in months. Somebody will find him. Run! Lil.
Joe, got some money.
That's right, Lil. 2 £5 notes, 13 £1 notes, and the rest in 10 bob notes. It all adds up very nicely to 50 quid in all.
Oh, Joe, honey, how did you get this money? You didn't go and do anything silly, did you?
Just like what? Rob a bank? I wouldn't know where to start.
But how'd you get it?
You'll never believe it. Remember I told you when I was in the sanatorium, there was this fella there with the same lung trouble by the name of Ted Brown?
Yeah.
Well, I lent him a quid.
You lent him a quid? Well,
I was still drawing me wages, wasn't I? We didn't know that the doctor wouldn't let me go back to the factory. Wasn't so bad then.
Alright, what about this Ted Brown?
Well, I met him in the street, see. He says he's been looking for me everywhere and wants to repay me the quid.
Go on.
Well, we goes into a pub to have a drink. There was a bookie there, and Ted says he's got a hot tip. 50 to 1, 50 smackers.
Oh, Joe, 50 smackers. Oh, I love you.
Well, Lil went to get some groceries and a couple of bottles of beer. I sat on the bed and had a look in the wallet. I haven't taken the money out. I thought it'd be empty. The 2 pockets, both with plastic windows. The first held a card that said Harold Maxted, 26 Furley Street, Ormsby. Then I look at the second plastic window. There's strange words printed on a white card. It said, I am not dead. I'm a subject to a form of cataleptic illness, which may appear to cause death. If I am found, please inform Dr. Alfred Miller, Ormsby 6641. No, it can't be. Not dead. Capital. What have I done? What have I done? They'll think he's. I must telephone, but Lil, she'll wonder where I've gone. I've given her all my money.
You're alright. I got a bit. Take these bottles from me, will you? Joe, what is it?
What time is it, Lil?
About 6, just. Why?
Look, give me 10 bob. Do you have any change? I'll need some silver. I have to telephone. I won't be long.
What is it?
I have to telephone someone.
You're not going gambling, are you? You haven't got the bug. You're not betting on tomorrow's races or anything like that, are you, Joe? There are all those bills to be paid.
I know, love. I know. No, I'm not gambling, but I need it, please. I'll be back in a little while. It's just that please, Lil.
Alright, here.
It's all right, love. I knew I'd be too late with a phone call. I mean, would I be? Would I? Don't know. But whatever. Anyway, well. I mean, would they bury this poor guy without knowing he was a cataleptic? I mean, thinking he was dead?
Hello?
Can I speak to Dr. Miller, please?
Dr. Miller's gone abroad. He's been away for the past 6 weeks.
Abroad? Oh, no. Have you taken over his practice, then?
No, but if you're in need of a doctor, there must be plenty.
No, it isn't that. You don't know which hospital Dr. Miller was at.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I must go. Dinner's on the table.
And then another thought steeped into my brain. Underground, a long wooden box, and a man being buried. I mean, being buried alive and a shovel heaping earth on his wooden boards. I mean, there must be a Maxted in the telephone directory.
Oh, there was. 14 Maxteds. Everyone alive and very bad-tempered.
You've got to be his relative, Harold Maxted. I took his wallet. He looked dead, but he wasn't. And now they've buried him. I've killed him. You've got to get him out. He could still be alive.
You've got the wrong person. Perhaps with a few other Maxes in the book. Try them.
I have. You're Mr. Trevor Maxted. You're the last on the list. I have to find his relations. I left him. I mean, they buried him, and he ain't dead. I've got to get him out. I'm going to get him out tonight.
You're mad. Go away. Leave me alone.
Oh, what now? I mean, do I go along to the police and say, look, I stole a man's wallet? I mean, someone might be shoving him into a 6 foot of earth. I mean, what do I do?
It's all your fault, Joe Alish. I'm struggling for breath. They're going to bury me deep. Not deep enough, Joe. Get me out of this, or I will make you suffer, here on earth and in the beyond. Well. Joe Alish had better do something about it pretty soon. Otherwise, the poor, unfortunate, cataleptic gentleman will be stiff with the cold. But let us see what he does do. You're the only one who can save me, Alish. They're burying me this afternoon. They are putting me in a coffin and covering me with dirt. If you allow this to happen, you are a murderer, Joe Alish. A murderer. Do you hear? You will be punished.
He kept saying I'll be punished.
Who, Joe? Who are you talking about?
Harold Maxted, the man I got the money from.
The bookie?
No, I lied, Lil. I robbed a man who was dead on the street, but he wasn't dead. He was cataleptic.
You did what? Joe, I'm ashamed of you.
He looked dead. I thought he didn't need it, and we did.
Oh, Joe, what are we going to do?
I even went to the police to see if he'd been found, and they said he's being buried today.
It's all in your imagination. He's dead.
I'm going to stop the burial. I'll go to the police.
Joe, you can't. You can't, Joe. Why don't you tell the police about the wallet? Where are you going, Joe?
I don't know. I'll get drunk. I don't know anything anymore. Even my glass of beer went sour in my mouth. I bought it with blood money. The blood of Harold Maxted. I left the pub and walked. They were burying him in a pauper's grave, were they? I didn't ask my feet to move towards the cemetery. It seemed they didn't belong to me. They were burying him as I got there. A minister, a gravedigger, and an old man, obviously the caretaker, and a police sergeant. I wanted to shout, Don't put him in the grave, he's not a corpse, he's alive. I couldn't. Those 3 stripes on the copper's sleeve seemed to represent the number of years I might get for stealing and withholding information. I ran from the cemetery as I was running from the vengeance of Maxted himself.
Hello, Joe.
They buried him at last. I saw him do it in a cheap wooden coffin. Maybe it's a good thing the coffin was a cheap one. Maybe the coffin maker gutted it. Maybe there are holes in it. Maybe the poor swine will be able to breathe. 50 measly knicker, 50 rotten pounds, and I've turned myself into a murderer. I've let you in on it too. All they say you're part of the conspiracy. What have I done to you? What have I done to us?
Nothing, Joe. Alright, so you pinched his wallet, but we were both starving.
That's beside the point now, isn't it, Lil? He's down there struggling for breath, isn't he? He won't be struggling for long. I don't know anything about cataleptics, but you can't be nailed inside a coffin under 6 feet of earth long. I mean, look out the window, Lou. I mean, it's getting dark already. I know the grave, Lou. I'm going back.
Joe?
No, you're not going to stop me, Lou. I'm going back and I'm going to get him out of that grave. Please, Lou, I've got to do it.
Alright, Joe, I'll come with you.
No, I couldn't bear that. I've got to do this on my own.
Suppose he's too heavy for you. You're not strong, Joe.
It's a pauper's grave, Lil. They didn't say that much trouble with him.
Why a pauper? All that money in his wallet.
That makes it worse, doesn't it? Maybe they couldn't raise his relatives. What with his doctor gone away and everything? I mean, here, look, get my hammer out of the drawer. It's got that thing on there for pulling nails out, and that little mirror.
Alright. Here, I hope you're right. That you know what you're doing.
It's the only way, Lil. The only way. And here I am, and it's too late. He's dead, all right.
Well, I'm a young man. I want to be in your shoes, not for nothing. If I was you, I'd get down there and come and open him up just in case you're right.
You're not going to stop me.
Oh no, go on down you get. I'll hold a ladder for you. I'll just put the ladder up to give you a bit more room.
Thanks. Now, Mr. Maxted, let's get you out of here. Oh my God, he was alive! Look at his hands! They're torn from clawing at the lid! What are you doing? Let me get out there first before you rebury him, you fool!
Oh well, you see the thing is, I never did tell you my name, did I? It's Trevor Matstead. Harold was my brother.
Well. Someone should have told Joe Ellis that lifting wallets off cataleptic gentlemen is a most grave offence. In fact, it is likely to incur a most stiff penalty.
That was Alive in the Grave, originally broadcast as part of the Creaking Door series on South African radio in 1964. This re-recording featured Simon Holt as the narrator, Joe and Harold Maxted, Geoffrey Lyons as Trevor Maxted, Kezia Davis as Lil and the voice on the phone. Music and additional dialogue by Simon Davis, produced and directed by Kezia Davis.